is. All right, here she is. You all know her and love her. Of course, she is the host of all the 90-day Fiance tell-alls, the tell-alls for before the 90 days. She is one of the most fabulous TV hosts to the stars. You've seen her for years. She's a producer. I mean, terrific friend, gorgeous. And, she's number one in the ratings on Sunday nights all the time with 90-day Fiance and the tell-alls. There's no one that can beat us, really, Shaun. Shaun Robinson is here, by the way.
Mom always said, be humble. But yeah, I'm happy that the audience has, still been on this ride with us and on this 90-day train. They're still hopping on. And so it's been really, really fun.
Shaun, 9 seasons in, and you consistently are number one on Sunday nights. That's enormous. I think you were beat once by Kevin Costner, and, we're taking him down on that Yellowstone horse.
That Kevin Costner, and I really like him. However, move out of the way, buddy.
Yeah. Right off onto someone else's ranch, because the 90-day one, we have Jibri and Miniona, and we're doing great.
That's right. So it is. I told you that when I first started doing this show, Sarah, when they first asked me back in, TLC first asked me back in, it was 2016, I think. I was like, okay, maybe it'll last for a couple seasons, maybe it'll, couple, whatever. And then I had no idea. They kept saying, okay, there's another show there. We're number one, we're gaining steam. And I have just been amazed by, first of all, the diversity of the audience, and also about how people are so invested in the lives of our couples. And I think that is a real credit to TLC, because they find interesting people, folks who, that the audience is really going to connect with. Love them or hate them, you're going to connect with them. Okay.
I know.
So it's been really fun.
What for you has been, okay, so we just ended season 9. 9 seasons in. Specifically for this season, what was the most interesting thing for you or surprising thing from this season overall that you enjoyed?
Wow. Okay. Surprising. Yeah, you know what? We've had some really dynamic folks, dynamic personalities, strong personalities on the show. So I don't know if anything ever surprises me. Each time I go into the show, my goal is to let everybody just kind of explain what their behavior was and the reasons behind certain behavior. And I am not there, as I told you before, Sarah, I'm not there to judge. I'm there to give them this platform so they can talk about the criticisms that they've received throughout the season, or, mistakes that they've made. And so I always go into it being that person. I'm neutral. I may be thinking something, but I'm going to be neutral on the show. So when you talk about what surprises me, I don't know if anything really surprises me anymore, but I am often pleasantly surprised that, when we want people to talk about something, they will talk about it. And, whereas here's the thing, I think what's really interesting about the show, certain things, I think, and people always say, oh, was the stage, blah, blah, blah. It's not staged. Nothing is staged on the show. What we do is we present a platform that really kind of forces people to talk about things that maybe normally they would not talk about. Like when you're in a relationship and you just kind of sit there and simmer, and you simmer for years and years because you don't want to talk about something, because you don't want that confrontation. They got to talk about it. So they've got to put it out, So that was a long answer to say I'm not really surprised about anything, but I am pleased that, the couples, they're very transparent and they give the audience all that they've got.
They really do. They really do. And unlike other, relationship shows, I think what's unique about 90 Day is they already have found each other. And then we're kind of seeing this really condensed 90-day period of time where they sort of have to make this, at the moment, lifelong commitment, but they already have the chemistry. And I think that makes such a huge difference, because then there's already a spark there versus some of these shows where you're marrying a stranger. I mean, sometimes there's a spark, sometimes there's no spark because you've never seen them, but 90 Day, and then 90 Day, they're forced, like Emily and Kobe, right? He's forced to live with his in-laws.
Yes.
I mean, I loved the argument where she had bought a ring already. The poor guy spent his savings on a ring. I mean, that's sort of a story. So many things we can all relate to.
Right. If you look at each thing in the season, any season that has made you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. You probably know somebody that has happened to.
Yes.
Whether because they not only are dealing with the regular timeline or the timeline of getting married within this 90-day period, but they're dealing with all the other stuff that other couples go through. So whether it's, having to live with your in-laws, the money issues, whether we're going to have a baby, whatever it is, they've got that added pressure. And so, it's interesting. I go back to the question you just asked me about what has surprised me when I think about the challenges. Excuse me, let me get some
water. Take some water. Yes.
A little hydrated. Oh, this is flavored water. I didn't know that. I thought this was regular water. Anyway, so when I think back to the question you just asked me about what surprises me, I think when I guess I reflect on it, I'm surprised that so many couples do stay together. And there was a statistic, and I've got to find out what it is, that the couples, we have a higher percentage of couples that stay together than the normal percentage, than the average. So a lot of people think, oh, folks, a lot of these people don't stay together, but a lot of them do. And we have a higher percentage than the national average.
Why do you think that is? Having done these tell-alls for all these years and interacted with these couples, what do you think it is?
Well, number one, we choose couples that are genuine in their quest to be together. Whether they don't make it, that's another thing. But number one, because our vetting process is very good. I think it's very thorough. But also, after you try so hard to make something work, you don't want to just toss it to the side for little to no reason. These people have traveled thousands of miles to be together. They've spent a lot of money on the visa process or traveling back and forth. So they really, really want it to work.
We just wrapped up part 2 of the tell-all on this past
Woo,
Sunday night.
Boy, it was a doozy.
It was a doozy. I got a million questions for you. One being, a lot of people were surprised at sort of how hostile the castmates were to one another, specifically Jibri. What was your take? Why do you think they were so charged? And did you like that, or were you put off by that?
Well, okay. So, I'm often asked this question about, why do couples have conflict on the show? Now, here's what has happened over the years. If you watched when I first started doing the tell-alls back in 2016, the conflict just came within the couple's relationships. Okay. So it was between them, their in-laws, their friends, their own circle. There wasn't conflict in the early days between the couples. What has since happened, and they're supposed to stay off social media. Okay. That's impossible. Now, what has happened is that they're having these conflicts, and somebody might post, a viewer might say, oh, I'm making the name up, Mary, I can't believe you did such and such. And then one of the other couples may like that comment. So they're having these conversations on social media. And then so there's tension, and they're also watching other couples. They're watching what other couples are going through. And here's the thing, every couple knows when we do the tell-all, I'm coming to them next. Okay. So if so-and-so, one couple has been critical of your relationship, when you get to me or when you get to them, I'm going to have something to say about their relationship too. So you've got a lot of things going on. And I think the couples know, we do tell them we want this, we want interaction. We want you to say how you feel about the other relationships, because if anybody knows what they're going through, it's the other couples. So we want that. We like that conversation. I don't like it when things get like crazy. Okay. I don't like things that get crazy.
Were you nervous
like
that there was going to be a physical confrontation between Bini and Jibri?
I didn't think so.
Okay, I would have loved to have seen you jump in there, just like,
Yeah,
you
no.
know.
Oh, well, I would not have jumped in. I definitely would not have jumped in, but I didn't think there was going to be a confrontation.